Affinity Photo comes with some great features such as linked duplicates. Really useful for creating all kinds of colourful effects such as this in Affinity Photo. And I'm going to show you how to do that with a very basic circle. So let's remove everything very quickly and start with the circle. Now, you shouldn't be using the circle itself. So the circle needs to be converted. So once you've created that using the ellipse tool, just go over here and convert it to curves. Now you'll notice it's got a dash pattern already. What you need to do, go up here, set the fill. I'm going with black. It could be any colour or no colour. Set the stroke and you can set all kinds of different colourful gradients to your stroke. Like that, you just go through them and select different ones. But also dash, just click here, go for the dash style. Here's a dash style. And you can just modify the setting here, just change it, just tweak it by dragging like that. And you can create some beautiful colour designs. Now, if you want to modify the actual gradient, you can also use the gradient tool there. But the key thing is with that selected is to use stroke. If you don't use stroke, you'll be trying to modify the fill. Stroke is needed there. You can see it's a linear gradient. Well, once you've got that, and you could of course have any kind of colourful design, it doesn't have to be like this. What you can do, you can duplicate it. So go to Layer and use Duplicate Linked. And that means quite a lot of this shape is then linked. So not everything probably, but certainly most of it. So when you change the fill, everything changes. All the fills for that will change. So Duplicate Linked. So you've got two now. Well, I'm going to reduce the size. That's why I said there's some things that not affected, because if this course changed, it would change for the other one as well. But you can see, hold down the shift and, you can do that, do any kind of shape. I'm just going to go with the circular design. So I've got this and I want about there. Let's just put it about that. What I want to do then, just to show you also it's linked, you can see the little link there, is edit and cut. With this selected, go to edit and paste inside. So it's pasted inside. Now you can move around. You can still see, still linked. If you're using 2.5, you can use the move and duplicate feature. So simply go over here and select this, the move tool, and press return or enter on the keyboard. With that, you can then go here to scale and duplicates. So just click here, duplicate, number of copies, say 9 or 12, just you can vary it. And you can then change the rotation, but also the scale. So just go there, straight away you can see a design like that. And maybe try and match it like that. Click OK. Now one thing, you can always go back to it. I'm just going to go back to it. Key thing is here, I should have pointed out, scale with object. If you don't, the result will be different. So scale with object is definitely needed to be turned on. So let's just undo now and repeat that. So again, press return or enter on the keyboard, get this panel up. Duplicates and number of copies. And again, can vary. So 10 and then scale. And you can see as you reduce it down, I'm just going to go for about that. I think that's maybe a little bit less, something like that, probably. Okay, so once you've got that, you can also rotate it. So rotation, so you can see then as you rotate it, create a sort of spiral effect. Though it's obviously if you had lots and lots of these, if you had 100 or so, you'd probably see it more effectively, that spiral shape. But there's certainly colour changes as you go down. Maybe put it to about 24 so you can see you get the yellows, that central up there, etc. And then click OK. And you could, of course, add more, but I'm going to go with that. And you could, of course, vary it in all kinds of ways. But also at the same time, you can select any of these curves, any of them, that one, this one, any of them, and you can then tweak it. So click up here, you've got swatches, just select a different swatch. So this one, maybe go that one. And you can see as you change that, they all change. And you can run through all your swatches. You obviously probably got a different set of swatches to me, and you can vary, of course, the type of gradient. You can modify it again with the gradient tool. So if you go over the gradient tool, just tweak that. And again, make certain use stroke. Otherwise, you're going to be changing the actual fill. And you can see you can vary that. And you move it around, and that will change all the designs. But they're all linked. And again, you can still at any point simply go back and you can modify the stroke there. But also you can click here. So just click there and you can say, oh, I don't want 1.2. I maybe want that, so you can vary that, or maybe 1.6, or maybe go for different options here, or change the width so you can get small, or maybe make it much larger, and so on. But also go down here and effects, just select one of them. Again, it doesn't need all of them selected, just effects, and you can go for outer shadow. Obviously it's black, so it's not going to be so effective, but you can maybe change that, and you can see you get obviously the edge there. But if you had the others, you would be able to see it if it was obviously red or green. Obviously it's being black, it's not very helpful, but 3D, you can set that, and you can see then change the radius, and that will change for all of them. And click OK, or close. Now, because I've converted it to a curve already, this wouldn't work if I hadn't converted it. But now I can go to any of these and use the node tool. So node tool down the bottom here, select that. I close that, I don't need that anymore either. So the tools, node tool, I can then go over here and I can move that. And as I move that, you can see it creates some very weird variations of that design as you drag it out. Not all particularly effective. Maybe go for select a different one. So maybe go there, center, doesn't particularly matter. Again, you can see some variations depending on the shape. And you can also, let's just undo that, don't want that. Maybe go to the outer one. Just hover over there and then simply drag. And again, you'll see, now you will get many variations depending on the size, the stroke size. So if you reduce it down, different effects will result. And I have achieved different outcomes with different moving of different nodes. So it's not an exact science, I don't think it's particularly to get something like that. But once you've got that, maybe also another thing, you might decide, you know what, I don't want that. Maybe I want the fill to be changed as well, so a gradient. And you can see, you can create something like that. And you can then see, of course, the shadow effect. And go with that, or maybe that one. That creates an interesting one as well. And so on. You can see you can create a variety of different designs with that. But also what you can do is you can duplicate this. So you can move it around, reposition it, hold down the Alt or Option key and drag and duplicate that. And that can, you can fill the entire screen if you want. You maybe create. Now, of course, the more you add, it's obviously going to get slower. It's going to be a bit more sluggish. You're going to have more and more layers. And maybe up there, and you've got that. Again, you can resize it. That won't affect it. So if you resize it like that, or rotate it, so you can rotate it, that doesn't change any of the others. So you can then hold down the Alt or Option key again and just drag again. But if you go over here and say select this one, go to the node tool and drag, you'll see what happens. They all change. Again, not instantaneous. You can always undo if you're not happy with the result, but maybe a subtle change to some of them, you will see it slightly expands out. But also, click up here, go to the gradient or swatches, and maybe select a different colour there, or that one, or set it to nothing. It's another option, which actually looks quite messy. So I would suggest just click and select something. And then, of course, you can do exactly the same with stroke as well. Go and select stroke there, swatches, maybe select a different one, and so on. Or just a solid colour, perfectly reasonable as well. So maybe black, if you want that. And there it is, very quick design created with a shape that's been duplicated but linked. That's the key thing. All of these shapes, window, go to layers, and you can see every single one of these are linked. And all these effects are linked, so any change will change all the others, other than scaling and rotation. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Bye.